Welcome into the Rob Bro Show. I am Rob Bro. I am the host. You are the co-host. If you want to co-host today, you can comment on the starting line chat line. The starting line chat line brought to you by Starting Line Counseling. StartingLineCounseling.com for more information on Chase. Chase is the owner of Starting Line Counseling. Wonderful guy. Great guy. Double graduate of Texas Tech. More than a decade of experience in counseling.
Two-time.
Two-time. All right. Texas Tech baseball shat the bed yesterday.
Family show.
17. I said shat. 17-3. The Red Raiders could have canceled. Lots of people canceled.
Should have. Could have, should have.
They didn't. They played. They lost. They had an 11-game win streak at home. Now, all of a sudden, when I got the Mexico fans chirping me. Allegedly, I did not look this up, but allegedly, the series is even in like the last decade, which does not seem true. But
when Ray Birmingham was at New Mexico, they weren't terrible.
Yeah, but over a decade, that seems like a lot of wins for New Mexico. You know what? The guy chirping me, it didn't get to me yesterday. It got to me today. I'm going to go look that up. Yeah. But just a poor performance overall. And you start a guy who is not going to get a lot of pitches in any kind of role. But you get that role, and he, sometimes you give a guy a chance, and you don't do great with that chance. But Jacob Rogers also did not do great yesterday. Hutera, not great yesterday. A lot of guys didn't do good yesterday. They scored 17 runs over the course of, just 9 innings. So, what were your thoughts on the game and the RPI takeaway, which you only dropped a couple of spots, but the RPI doesn't kill you today. It kills you in 2 weeks. Yeah. When you're looking at ending the season and trying to get in the postseason.
Yeah, and my thoughts were I was happy that I wasn't able to watch the game whenever I saw when I was just, I couldn't watch it, so I'm like following the updates on Twitter or X, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I became very concerned early on. And when that lead started bumping up and Texas Tech wasn't scoring any more runs, I was going, oh no, this is bad. Should have banged it. And then the final score ends up being 17-3, and you got your butt whipped. And good for New Mexico, bad for you. New Mexico still won't make the postseason. You still have a shot. That's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot of.
You have more than a shot. You're making the postseason.
Yeah, right. Yeah, unless you just go and lose out. Then it's tough, but
that wouldn't be because you lost to New Mexico. That'd be because
no. It wouldn't be because you lost to New Mexico. Because you played like you did against New Mexico against everybody else the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I've said in the past, midweeks don't really matter to me. Other than what they do to your RPI is what matters, and that's why I'm a proponent for just putting like Power 5 conference schools in the midweeks, right? Like, just if you go play and lose 17-3 to Ole Miss yesterday, your RPI doesn't move. It doesn't hurt you. It actually improves it, which is weird, maybe, or you don't move at all. So, midweeks are important to an extent of getting guys work that don't get work. But yeah, look, the Arkansas midweek felt important last week. You weren't able to get any wins there. The midweek against Stanford felt pretty important because you were on a losing streak. You needed to figure some things out.
Survive
kind of,
those games.
yeah, and yeah, I don't care about midweeks a ton, but it's embarrassing to lose 17-3 to a New Mexico team that's not very good. Because you're still Texas Tech, and you can't tell me that New Mexico's midweek dudes are better than your midweek dudes on the mound. And giving up 17 runs to New Mexico is just piss poor. That's what it is.
You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pitchers go. 2 pitchers did not record an out. 1 pitcher recorded 1 out. Hutera, who I said didn't look normal, he gave up a run. Only 1 hit, it says. Walked 2, struck out 2, pitched 2 full innings. Better than I remembered. Jacob Rogers, I think, is the one that gave up the 2 bombs back-to-back to guys who hadn't hit home runs all season long.
All year, yeah.
Derek Bridges, an inning and a third, only gave up a run. Hudson Luce gave up 3 runs. He gave up 5 runs, 3 earned. So there's also some defensive trouble. I missed the first 2 innings, 3 innings as well, but just it's not good.
No,
it's not good.
Well, and I've looked up this series. The last 10 matchups between these two teams, Texas Tech is 6-4.
Yeah.
But they lead the series overall by a lot of wins. 47-40. Texas Tech is 47, 26-1 versus New Mexico all time. Something like that.
I've got 47 and 25. So I guess they updated.
This is before. I guess this is before yesterday. Yeah. It might include yesterday, actually.
Yours includes yesterday because
that's right.
47 and 25.
Yeah, 47 and 25. Tech is 26-9 at home.
The guy chirping me actually said even over the last 3 years, but even in the last 3 years, 4-3.
The last 2 years you've split with them. So, and just like this year, I guess that this year counts as a split. So you are even with them. You're 3-3. Tech's won 3, you've won 3 in New Mexico in the 6 games that you've played.
You played 7 games in the last 3 years.
Oh, well, there you go. So I thought you'd played 2 each year. You'd split with them.
No, back in 2022, you played them 3 times. And you beat them 28-2 and 11-5 at home, and then lost 10-11 on the road. But you have split the last 2 seasons. Lots of winning against New Mexico. I just hate playing New Mexico. It's never a good time.
No, it's never. It's like kind of like the Texas Rangers struggle with the Detroit Tigers with the Seattle Mariners quite a bit. It just seems like that's what New Mexico does, right? Like they're just that stingy bunch who is a bunch of like dudes that probably think they got shunned by by the bigger Division I schools, and they want to go to the university. They end up in Albuquerque, and what else is there to do in Albuquerque but feel like there's a chip on your shoulder, and or go to the casino, and go make as much as your opportunities as you can against teams like a Texas Tech on a Tuesday, because that's where they win their season.
Yeah,
like they're not going anywhere in the postseason this year. So
RPI wise, you dropped 2 yesterday. Again, it's not going to be a huge drop today, and that was really other teams around you doing things as well. Xavier, West Virginia, Kansas State all dropping more yesterday. TCU beating DBU was a big victory for them.
Yeah, and it helped Texas Tech too, to be honest.
Probably.
Because TCU's RPI probably bumped up a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. In that respect, yeah, your 2 losses to TCU don't hurt as bad anymore. But I think you dipped to 31 or 32, and then by the end of the night, you evened out at 30. But all of the projected RPIs, where on Monday you were 17, 20 predicted RPI, you're winning all these games. With all the same wins, you're now projected at like 25 to 28 RPI. So that's where it hurts you in the predicted RPI and the season long scope.
Yeah, and a loss like that hurts your chances if you do well here in the last 3 conference series of the season. It hurts your chances at a potential host, you know, bid.
Yeah,
That's what a loss to New Mexico on a Tuesday does.
that was probably a long shot on Monday, though a
Right.
believable long shot.
Yeah.
Today it does feel out of reach
Yeah.
because of one loss. And again, there's still things out there that are certainly attainable, that are more attainable the more midweeks you play. Um, Mark Finkner commented on my "We should cancel this game" post. Mark Finkner, a longtime voice of Texas Tech athletics, former baseball caller. Now he does the Lady Raiders. But he said, oh, you got to have all the games you can. You get better in the midweek, yada, yada, yada. You want to get to that 40 game win mark, which all are true until you lose.
Yeah, until
Like,
you play like absolute dog crap.
yeah,
And
who got
then
better? Who got better beating New Mexico or losing New Mexico 17-3? Who got better? I mean, any of those pitchers, I guess you learned to not give up back-to-back home runs to guys who never hit a home run before.
well, and at that point when you lose 17-3 in a midweek like that to a New Mexico team who's inferior to what Texas Tech has on their roster, it comes to a point where, like, who came to the ballpark ready to compete yesterday, right? Like, that's what it comes down to, is how much did you come to the ballpark thinking, I really don't give a crap today. And my give a crap is gonna filter over into your give a crap, and then when nobody gives any, when nobody cares, anybody can beat you in baseball, man.
Yep.
Baseball's a funky sport sometimes. Bad teams, bad teams can sweep good teams, right? Like, if you don't come ready to the ballpark ready to play, and that's at every single level of baseball and softball, you're going to get beat and you're going to get embarrassed. And Texas Tech got beat and got embarrassed yesterday. Like I said, I didn't get to watch it, but I would assume there wasn't a whole lot of
No.
GAD. Give a damn. Yeah.
It didn't feel like it. Not a lot of sense of urgency. Though, some people argue with Texas Tech baseball, it doesn't feel like that very much anyways, because Tim Tadlock isn't a fiery guy. I would argue against that. I think he is a fiery guy, but people don't understand personality traits and managing sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
He's not out there throwing fake grenades on the mound like some people.
No, and he's not, to go off of a guy who's won a national title, Rob Bianco, at Ole Miss. He's kind of a fiery, get in your face kind of dude. But Tim does it in a way where it's not going to show on a camera, but behind a closed door, Tim probably getting after him.
Yeah,
Right?
probably.
Like, I've seen Tim get after some people before. So you're not a good head coach unless you get after the guys when they need to be getting after. But that one's like, the New Mexico game, turn it, burn it, forget about it, leave it where it is, and move forward, and really, really, really got to focus on Kansas this weekend, especially up in Lawrence. You're going to be dealing with some adversity as far as the weather goes. You could start a game and then play 3 innings and then get a lightning delay here this weekend, and then not play for 2 or 3 hours on a Friday or Saturday or Sunday, because I think it's a chance of rain and thunderstorms the whole weekend up in Lawrence. So, dealing with that, plus being on the road, I think dealing with that on the road is a little bit better because you got nowhere else to go other than like being at home, where it's like, why are we still here? We could go.
Go to our houses, yeah. Says, let's see. Friday, scattered thunderstorms and wind, 59% chance. Saturday, PM thunderstorms and wind, 82% chance. And then Sunday again, thunderstorms, 75% chance. With 20 miles an hour of wind all throughout the weekend.
Yeah, that's nothing that Texas Tech guys shouldn't be able to handle. You practicing that every day.
There was certainly a jet stream to right field yesterday.
For New Mexico, there was.
For New Mexico, certainly. And you were pushing everything to left field.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from Texas Tech baseball. We'll talk about them a ton, I'm sure, on Friday, and talk about that Kansas series even more. No,
It is Power Ranking Wednesday.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
No basketball updates to give you beyond what we talked about on Monday.
Right.
Seeing Scarlet, second straight show mention for them. They have Visters listed for the Lady Raiders, including Adley Blacklock, which we talked about Monday. She is coming on a visit. We'd love to get her back in Lubbock.
Yeah, transferring from Oregon State. Lubbock kid.
6 foot.
Can shoot it.
There were also 3 other visits. So, a Baylor player, I think, who had also been at Iowa State. And then I think a high school player who's still taking some visits. And one other. So that's big news for the Lady Raiders. The Wenzel, the Wyoming transfer, committed to TCU. But earlier in the week or the end of last week, I saw a note where he had his upcoming schedule for visits, and Texas Tech wasn't even included. So I don't think with that, he either canceled the visit or we canceled the visit on the Texas Tech side. I don't know which it was. I have a feeling on one way, but that could be Cope. All right, Roy says, well, time to start ranking Nick Cage movies until Tech plays Kansas. Nothing to see this week at all. Wrong. We'll talk about something in a second. And then Daniel says, bring on the draft spectacular. We'll also talk about the draft, but I wanted to talk a little NBA and NHL, the playoffs going on.
Please.
10 seconds of NBA playoffs. The Mavs are 1-1. The Lakers 0-2. And Darvin Ham getting compared to Stalin and Hitler. I don't think he lasts much longer in Los Angeles. I hope he gets out of that place. What a nightmare for him. But the Mavs 1-1. And the White Claw, Luka Doncic, held Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden to 0 points while he was guarding them yesterday. So that's impressive.
That's pretty good.
The White Claw, they call him.
The Latvian lockdown.
All right, that's all I have on the NBA. The NHL, what a goal fest in game 1 for the Stars. 4-3, I think, the final.
No defense played by the Dallas Stars in the first couple periods, by the way.
No defense.
None. No net defense, nothing in the front.
I think
Jake Ottinger just getting barraged.
You had like twice as many shots on goal as they did.
Yeah, you scored. You scored in the first minute.
No, they did.
The Stars did. Yeah, the Knights did. That's right.
Yeah.
And then the Stars in the second period.
First hockey game I watched the whole game. Well, I guess I missed the Vegas first goal, but that's what I do in the playoffs. That's when I start watching basketball.
There's not a whole lot better, like professional sports wise, besides the maybe like playoff baseball, just because I'm a baseball guy. And the NFL playoffs are fun too. But there's not a whole lot that gets better than playoff hockey in professional sports. Right? Like playoff hockey it's fun to watch. I like hockey in general. I became a hockey fan at like obviously when the Cotton Kings were here, got into it a little bit. Wish we still had a semi-pro hockey team. That was always fun when the Cotton Kings were here in Lubbock. There's still quite a few of them that are left over from their playing days in Lubbock. They love Lubbock so much they just stayed. So, but yeah, on Monday, the Vegas Golden Knights, the last seed to get in the wild card, and the Dallas Stars are the 1 seed because they win the Western Division. And the Vegas Golden Knights, all of a sudden, the defending champs, decided to start playing good hockey, and it just it didn't bode well for the Stars. Just didn't go well. So hopefully tonight you get it figured out. I mean, the first period, 3-2 in the first period. That's like that's a final score in playoff hockey most nights. So, yeah. And then in the second period, the goal that the Knights scored in the second period ended up being the one that wins the game. And the Stars skated well in the third, but couldn't figure it out there at the end. And a couple power plays that they really just missed on at the end as well.
Early
And
too.
one in the second period that they had plenty of chances. They just couldn't get it by the Knights.
One in the first as well.
And friggin' Mark Stone.
Vegas plays really good defense in front of the net too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up Dadrian Taylor Dimerson's where he's mocked. I can't find the
Were Rabbits mocked?
Yeah, I can't find the there's a website that has all the mocks together. I can't seem to find that mock. I don't remember the website that does all the mocks together.
I found this one, round 3, pick 90. Dadrian Taylor Dimerson. That's a Pro Football Focus mock.
Well, yeah, I could look up individual mocks, but there's a website that puts all the mocks together to where you have you look at one place and it's all the mocks together. Anyways, let's go to the NFL draft. Ranked 5th in some publications as the top 5 safety in the NFL draft upcoming. I've seen him in the top 10 of DBs, or in the top 20, I mean, of DBs with all the corners added in. The draft profile is a top 50 pick, top 70 pick I've seen. I've read he has elite athletic scores, which we saw in the Combine and the Big 12 Pro Day. You hear rave reviews all through his time in college as an interviewee. He is a high IQ player. Where does he get drafted? Not team-wise, round-wise. What do you think, Carson?
Say who you're talking about again. I was trying to find what your Rabbit. I think he's the 3rd or 4th rounder. Like, I think he performed well enough at the Senior Bowl, at the Combine, Pro Day, all those things combined. I think that there's scouts out there who are high enough on Rabbit to where he's a 3rd or 4th rounder. I think he's off the board by at least the 5th.
Oh, yeah. People are calling him a day 2 guy. That's the 3rd round.
Yeah, that's the 3rd round.
He's going to 3rd round.
I think day 1 is all first round, and then day 1 is all first round, and then day 2 is Rob's going to let the pest control guy in. By the way, day 2 is 2nd and 3rd round. Day 3 would be 4, 5, 6. I don't know what they do. 4, 5, 6, 7. Nobody watches the draft after the first couple rounds, but yeah, I think Adrian Taylor Demerson has a really good shot to get picked in the third round, maybe, and someone may be high enough on him to get into the second round. But that would be huge for him. Bit of wishful thinking there too, but yeah, I think he has a good shot. I think that a couple others have a chance to get drafted, but I don't know if they will off the Texas Tech team. But I think you're going to see, 3 or 4 get free agent sign opportunities after the draft, the non-drafted free agent, and then it's worked out for some of them in the league, and we'll just see where it goes. But yeah, it's weird to think that this is the first year in a couple of years that you haven't had a first round pick coming out of Texas Tech with Jordan Brooks, and then um, last year as well. So yeah, it just I think what you're going to see is Dadrian Taylor Demerson get drafted in the third or fourth round, and that's probably the only Texas Tech guy that'll get drafted in the top 5 rounds, and then somebody might get taken in the 6th or 7th. I don't know which. I mean,
I think Miles Cole gets drafted.
I just Miles
Look,
Cole. He has good reach. He's got the body and the frame that you love, right? But
that's
I
enough.
don't know that I.
Don't have to say but. That's enough in the NFL draft.
That's true,
You're taking
especially
that.
in the late rounds, like
You're
6th and
drafting
7th
that
round. What
body.
is your like? There's no penalty to draft anybody in the 6th or 7th round. You're basically getting them for free anyway. Um, yeah, I hope for Miles Cole that he gets drafted. And I hope that he gets drafted by the Raiders, to be honest with you. So then he can go be the understudy once
Sure.
again.
Or the Chiefs.
Or the Chiefs would be great too. So yeah, I think that what you want in the 6th and 7th rounds is to get drafted by a team that you know will help develop you, and a team that's good with development of pass rushers, of the guys like that. So that's what you hope for if you're Miles Cole. But even if you don't get drafted, I think that's almost better than being drafted in the 7th round, being an undrafted free agent, where you get to kind of pick like which team you go to. Other than like get drafted in the 7th round, this team's like, he's a 7th rounder, we can cut him, no big deal. Though that to me isn't as good of an option as finding the best fit for you, because your agent's going to go out there and look for, and you and your agent get to choose like which teams do we contact, which teams do I want to play for. I think in some instances that's a lot better than getting drafted in the 6th and 7th rounds. Just for me.
There's one more. Tyler Owens.
Tyler Owens, I don't see him getting drafted, but I think he's going to be an undrafted free agent for sure.
Again, just
He'll get a shot.
Athletically. That's a guy who could be drafted.
I said this, Rob.
Several others that could be undrafted, but
when you went away, this is the first year in the last 2 drafts that you won't have a round 1 pick. Or is it the 2 of the last 3 years that you've had a round 1 pick? Jordan Brooks.
Jordan Brooks was in 2021, 22.
I can't remember. Yeah, 2021.
He's been in the league for quite a while now.
Yeah. This was because his rookie contract ran out. That's 3 years. Yeah.
Who'd you have last year?
Oh.
All right, I found the mock draft. I found the mock draft simulator. You ready?
Yeah.
It's not a simulator. It's the mock draft, NFL mock draft database. Okay. The New York Post has, this is back to Rabbit. The New York Post has him going to the Giants in round 6. Round 6. Pro Football Focus, Cardinals in round 3. The Stampede Blue, which I believe is a Colts mock draft, round 3 to the Colts. I'm just going to read other round by round. You ready? Round 4, round 3, round 3, round 4, round 4, round 3, round 4, round 4, round 4, round 4, round 5 to the Chiefs. Round 3, 3, 6 to the Saints. 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3. And then there's some prospect rankings. Top 100 across the board. As high as
Jordan Brooks was 2020, and Tyree Wilson was last year, by the way. You started confusing me there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Tyree Wilson was drafted in 2023 in the first round, seventh overall.
Number 7 of the Raiders, yeah.
I started getting really worried about my
But
brain there for a second.
2020.
Yeah, Jordan Brooks is back in. It just felt like it was sooner. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's been in the league.
But you've had at least a 4th round pick in every draft since 2020, and you had a 4th round pick in 2018.
Don't tell me. 21, 4th round pick McPherson.
Yep.
22 was Ezukanma.
Yep.
23 was Tyree Wilson.
And you had 2 offensive linemen taken in the 7th round of each of the 2021 and 2022 drafts as well.
21 was
best stash on the offensive line. Yep.
22 in the draft.
Yeah, in the draft. Round 7, pick 25. 246 overall.
A 7th round. I thought Jack Anderson was in the 6th to the Bills.
7th round
to the Bills.
Pick 8 of the 7th round.
Who drafted him?
Who drafted this guy? The Cleveland Browns.
Oh, his Frisco teammate, Dawson Deaton.
Attaboy. Yep.
I forgot he went to the Browns as the draft pick.
It's a pretty good run. It's not like Texas Tech has, like in Alabama or somebody who's got like 6 or 7 guys that are getting drafted every year, but it's a good run where you're getting
starting in 26 is where you really see the Red Raiders filling out the middle of the draft board.
Yeah.
With all these Joey McGuire athletes coming in.
Right.
Maybe by next year. We'll have to see. Anyways, Taylor Dimerson, Rabbit. I think if he's not off the board in round 4, something has gone terribly wrong.
I agree.
And he has shot up the board since February. He has done really, really well in the combine and in the that pro day they had, and the Senior Bowl. The Senior Bowl, the combine, the pro day. I don't know that anybody's helped themselves as much as Dadrian has. Okay, I'm going to be completely transparent and honest here. You ready?
Yep.
This is a little bit to Daniel, a little bit to you in the audience. I have never been less focused on the NFL draft than I am this year. I've not mocked a single draft. I think a lot of it is my well, I haven't had a daily show. We've just talked on this show and haven't talked about the draft much at all, really. And also, I think my apathy to the Cowboys right now has killed my draft.
You're kind of just off of the NFL think right now, yeah.
I do not care. The Cowboys draft 24th, and Jerry Jones in the last 2 days has said some incredibly stupid stuff.
Imagine that.
Like we're drafting 24th because they're the 24th best team last year, which doesn't make sense. It's the opposite, in fact. Yeah,
this year's NFL draft is one that
it's all Caleb Williams.
Used to when we had a day show, like everyday show, we would get experts on and we're talking NFL draft, who's going where. We actually, I think one year we had an NFL scout come and join us on the show and tell us, what his prospect board looks like. And so, but this year, and especially because Texas Tech doesn't have like a bunch of dudes. And like last year, it was fun to talk about Tyree Wilson because he was going to be in the first round. Where is he going to go in the first round? Even with the injury, you knew he really wasn't going to play in the first season of his in the NFL because of the injury he had last year towards the end of the year in 2022 in the 2022 season. But yeah, I have really not paid that much attention to the draft board other than what the top 5 or 10 picks look like. To be honest, like I really haven't.
This is
And
my
you're
first
right. It's
time.
all been about Caleb Williams and how good is he going to be.
This is my very first time looking at a mock draft right now, live. This is the first mock draft I've looked at. I haven't even looked at mock drafts besides where I think Rabbit will go. I think that's the only thing I've looked at in the NFL draft. And right now I'm seeing the Cowboys will likely pick a center in the first round. Sure. I mean, you need one. You certainly need one. You need lots of things, though. Kool-Aid McKinstry to the Lions. Love that. The Chiefs,
Cool name.
wide receiver at 32. This says Adonai Mitchell from Texas.
I like that better than Xavier Worthy.
I would prefer him to Xavier Worthy, yes.
And Adonai Mitchell was a Georgia Bulldog before he was a Texas Longhorn. So
Was he?
transferred.
Kansas City will also likely consider an offensive lineman. I think with Rashee Rice, you're probably drafting a wide receiver there at 32. I mean, you've proven with Patrick Mahomes, you could just kind of go off and do whatever you want at the offensive line. And if you have enough pieces around, fine.
And I don't know that they need, like, is there another offensive lineman out there in the first round that you're going to take over, another weapon on the outside or, another really athletic wide receiver, which is what Patrick Mahomes likes. And you need, because the more athletic your wide receivers are, the more they can move with Patrick Mahomes when he's outside the pocket. Because Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback that we've probably ever seen at extending the play, maybe other than a Michael Vick, but Michael Vick would just tuck it and run it. He wouldn't extend the play out and run around and then toss a 50-yard dime.
Yeah.
He would just tuck it and go. That was his thing. Kind of like Lamar Jackson. But it's going to be interesting to see how the Chiefs draft because they want athleticism at wide receiver. Like that's what they've said. They've also said that they want to draft, maybe get an offensive lineman in there and someone they can develop in a year or two, but not one that they need to come and start just right off the bat.
You know where you can get an offensive tackle in this draft? Round 2.
Yeah, it's a perfect round. 2 and 3 perfect rounds because there's plenty of guys. Like I said, somebody they can develop, doesn't have to be a starter day one. He can come in there, learn the offense, learn from the guys in front of him. Your offensive line was fine last year. I thought that it was perfectly.
Well, that left
early in the season, it wasn't good.
Your most penalized left tackle in the entire NFL.
Yeah, that's not good.
I think you had the most penalized player in the NFL, and it was your left tackle.
Yeah, that's never good when your left tackle's the guy holding every time.
Elsewhere,
he's getting beat off the ball is what it means.
Yeah, well, he's holding, and he was just they targeted him to call false starts on him.
Yeah, because he's trying to get an early start.
0.8% of the mock drafts in the mock draft database have them taking Xavier Worthy. 12.8 drafts have them taking Adonai Mitchell. So Longhorn is 20
coming off the board
plus percent. And then the other one is Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey from Georgia is the other pick 30.
I don't like that pick. I don't like that pick in round 1 just because of his injury issues that he's had the last couple of years at Georgia.
He is a consensus, it seems, first round pick if he falls to the Chiefs. Otherwise, he's going from 25-32. Lad McConkey, by the way. Well, they say he's 6 foot tall, 185. That seems big for him.
Didn't he deal with lower leg injuries last year? Or was that the tight end?
I think that was Brock Bowers,
Yeah, Brock Bowers is that guy.
who I've also seen mocked to the Chiefs quite a bit as the second coming.
I mean, Travis Kelce ain't getting younger.
A couple of comments here from Daniel. They're talking like there could be 6 quarterbacks and more than 19 offensive players drafted in the first round. Multiple trades taking place. I don't care about Dallas' collection or CW, but otherwise should be exciting. Lots of swings. No chance Bowers makes it to Kansas City.
Yeah, Bowers is a top 10 pick.
Top 10?
That's what I've seen.
Bowers?
Yeah, Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia. Yeah,
top
tight
10
end from Georgia.
pick?
That's what I've seen in most mock drafts. Mel Kiper's draft has him in 10th. His best one that they have him at is that anybody has him at is 4th.
Maybe that was just an interview I saw and not a bunch of mock drafts. Again, I told you I've not been deep into this. Yeah, I see lots of 10 to the Jets. That's great. A tight end in the top 10.
And he's the guy that didn't play a whole lot last year.
I hope there's lots of drama in the
Just think about the Jets drafting a tight end. How many boos are going to rain down on the New York Jets for drafting a tight end instead of an offensive lineman at the 10 spot?
Yeah.
Your offensive line was so bad that your star quarterback that you signed and paid a lot of money for and all that stuff tore his Achilles in the first game because you couldn't protect him.
What'd you think about the quarterback, by the way, the Jets going to
Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
He gets to be closer to his mom's friend, I guess.
One way to say it.
He wasn't going to play anymore in New York. He's terrible. I don't think that he's the answer in Denver either.
No.
Denver should trade up. That's what Denver should do. Yeah. I don't know what they have. I don't know what they have to offer anybody. But if they could trade up from 12 to the top 8, top 4, I don't know what you're trading up in the top 4. Like you could hope that a Drake May drops down to you. You could hope that you can get, I don't know, Jaden Daniels. Is he going to drop to 4? And Daniel was right. Like they're saying that 6 QBs could go here in this first round. I don't know that there's 6 good quarterbacks that are going to be that great in the NFL in this draft.
Well, JJ McCarthy is going to go in the top 15.
That blows my mind.
And he is not an NFL quarterback.
It blows my mind. Like JJ McCarthy's not a first-round draft pick.
No.
He's just not. You can't tell me JJ McCarthy is better than what Brock Purdy was coming out of college. Now, Brock Purdy's had a pretty good first couple years as a quarterback in the NFL now that he's getting a chance to play. But because he wasn't drafted in the first round, he was Mr. Irrelevant.
He went to the perfect system that the entire team was built already.
Right, yeah.
It's just like top 10.
It's just like Patrick Mahomes. He got put in the perfect spot. I mean, he's a first-round draft pick, but that's my deal is like Jaden Daniels is going to go to if he gets drafted by the Commanders, is that putting him in a spot to succeed? No. He'll fizzle out in 2 years. He'll be a backup somewhere for the rest of his career because he's getting drafted in a spot that does him no good. And JJ McCarthy is going to be the same way. Like if he's being put somewhere in like the top 5 picks, that's to Minnesota. What are you going to do in Minnesota, JJ McCarthy? What are you going to do? Go ask Kirk Cousins what happens to quarterbacks in Minnesota. You're on your back most of the game, and you are not Kirk Cousins, bud.
No.
You are not him. So I don't understand the like overhyping of quarterbacks in this draft, because to me it's Caleb Williams. Like, obviously his athleticism, his upside, his arm talent, everything is there to be a good NFL quarterback. Will he be a great NFL quarterback? No, I have no idea. Like, I don't know that he has all the intangibles of being a great NFL quarterback. He's going to have to mature a lot, especially in Chicago, because you become the first round draft pick, the first pick. They're, in Chicago. Chicago's desperate to win. If you don't win in the first couple of years, just like Justin Fields, he didn't win in the first couple of years. People wanted him out after the first 4 starts because he won one of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an easy thing, and Chicago's not a good football team. Their offensive line is horrendous. So I just don't know that I think that 6 quarterbacks, especially the 6 at the top, are first round talents, or even going to be great NFL quarterback. I just don't see it.
You know what?
I think Drake May's good.
I'm back on the Chiefs. You know what the Chiefs should do?
What's that?
I'm just looking at the draft here. Trade back.
Trade back?
Oh, they should absolutely trade back.
Like, just give up the first round pick for
they should trade
2 second rounders?
Yeah, they should trade back.
Can you trade back? Who wants the first round pick 32? Like, what are you trading that with?
Lots of people. What do you mean?
The Raiders would take it, I bet.
Oh, a bunch of people want back in the first round. For sure. And then I would trade back and get. I wonder if Trey Smith could play right tackle. Because you could go get a guy like Cooper Beebe from Kansas State, or there's a Kansas guard. What's his name? Puna. What's his name?
Oh yeah, I can't remember.
Or there's Patrick Paul from Houston.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick Paul, big, strong guy. But if you want to talk about Trey Smith 2.0, then that's Patrick Paul. He holds almost every time I watch Houston play, and at least 5 times a game. Daniel said any QB to Minnesota will go throw TDs to the best wide receiver core in the league. I agree. They have good wide receivers, but their offensive line is not good.
Defense.
And JJ McCarthy is a guy that handed the ball off for most of his career in college. Like, he was a game manager. He's not the guy that can go win you a game with his right arm.
Red Raider Jalen Polk in round 2.
Yeah, Red Raider turned Washington Husky.
Yeah.
Roma Dunze, he'll be off in the first few, picks too. I think top 15 picks. That's where they have Roma Dunze going.
He's locked in the top 10. Just depends what happens at quarterback. Just depends, because you have Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. If the Cardinals trade out of the 4 spot, if somebody else wants another quarterback there at 4.
Who just traded yesterday? Somebody traded picks yesterday. Did the Dolphins?
A top first round pick?
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, it was a first round pick, I think.
You think
I just saw it on the ticker below while I was watching some playoff hockey last night.
The best wide receiver core in the NFL. I don't know that I can get over that.
No.
Jay Jettis is probably the best wide receiver in the NFL. Jordan Addison had a big rookie year. But how much of that was Kirk Cousins? People don't think he's elite, but he's a pretty good thrower of the football. Can the next guy do that too with them? I don't know. Who has a better wide receiver core? The Bengals have a pretty good one. They've been hurt the last couple of years. The Dolphins.
What good does it do to have a good wide receiver core if you don't have a good quarterback?
Yeah, well, the Dolphins don't have a good quarterback, and they have a pretty good wide receiver core.
You hate Tua Tagovailoa.
I don't hate him. I just think he has a noodle arm.
Oh, I agree with you there. We can agree on this.
Anyways, yeah, the draft's happening tomorrow. I think it'll be exciting. I'll probably pay attention.
Yeah, I'll tune in.
Thursday night, I will be in Graham, Texas on Friday night. Calling softball games.
That sounds fun.
Otherwise, it'll be a good weekend.
Who's playing in Graham, Texas on Friday night?
Estacado.
Oh. Hey, first time in the playoffs in a long time for the Estacado Lady Matadors. So
Yeah. I've never called an Estacado softball game. It'll be my first time.
got a first timer here.
And they are playing Graham.
Graham has a nice facility, by the way. So
yeah, I looked at it on the Google app.
Nice covered bleachers. If you have to sit outside,
I'll try to get in the
grandstand. Every bit of it's covered.
We'll see.
Yeah, all turf filled.
You've been to Graham?
Yes.
Have you played there?
Not to. Yeah, we played a playoff game there.
Okay.
And then I haven't been there to do a play-by-play.
Well, I figured you were coaching.
Yeah. Normally, whenever we're play-by-playing games, Coronado and Monterey and all of them are playing the El Paso teams the first couple rounds, and so you're going to Midland, Odessa, or Pecos, or wherever.
Yep.
To do those games.
Went to Midland, Amarillo, 3 straight weekends, I think, last year.
Yeah, you'll do that.
We'll see what happens.
Monterey's got a really good chance to go deep this year due to this is a Monterey softball team.
Monterey baseball?
And baseball.
Or you meant the softball team?
Yeah, softball.
I did the Monterey baseball last year. It was a fun ride. We went pretty deep.
I did.
Calling the playoffs.
I was lucky to get to do Monterey baseball a few years back. And they got to the regional final.
Yeah.
And, series win gets you to the state tournament. They're playing Bobby Witt Jr. and Rusty Greer's kid from Colleyville Heritage. And they took him to game 3. Bobby Witt Jr. starts game 3, throwing 95 off the bump.
Unreal.
I think he hit 2 home runs in that series. And you're sitting here going, I'm watching the first pick, probably the first overall pick, which he was, to the Kansas City Royals. And I'm just sitting there watching this kid play, and it's like, okay, yeah, there's a difference here. Like the way the ball comes off his bat, the way he throws the ball from shortstop, the way he did everything in that series. That's where you see the difference between what a first round pick looks like and what a kid that's going to play college baseball look like. And Rusty Greer's kid, I can't remember what his name was, but he ended up going to Auburn to play his collegiate baseball. I don't know if he's been drafted yet or not, and Bobby Witt Jr. didn't take him long in the minor leagues either.
No, he's
one of the predominant, most prominent shortstops in the big leagues now. So kid can absolutely fly too. He's got every tool you want. He's fast. He's got power. He's got fielding. He's got Mason Greer. There you go.
You're not going to believe this. I think he's at Baylor.
Oh, he's at Baylor now? Because he had signed or committed to Auburn.
So Colleyville Heritage High School.
Yep.
I think out of high school he goes to Missouri State instead of Auburn.
Oh, wow. He went to Missouri State.
Oh, he went to Auburn in 2020.
Yeah.
What a ride this guy's been on. All right, you ready? Auburn in 2020, played as a true freshman, went 3 for 10 with 2 doubles and 4 RBIs in 7 games before the season was cut short. In 2021, he goes to McLennan Community College
Good school.
and won a 2021 JUCO National Championship under head coach Mitch Thompson.
Who is now at Baylor. Now we're getting full circle here, Rob.
But now, and then he plays 2 seasons at Missouri State. And he hit 235 with 8 doubles and 2 home runs as a senior in 2023. And then he comes to Baylor as a super senior.
And he's not playing that much. I don't remember him playing in the Texas Tech series. Do you?
He played all 3 games against Texas Tech.
Oh, okay.
I was not looking out for a Greer.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I guess I just wasn't paying attention to it. Yeah. But it makes sense with his ties to Mitch Thompson from McLennan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Joins in. There he is. Mason Greer.
Yeah. Good
He's
people.
Been around, man.
Talk with the head coach at Colleyville Heritage. He was a basketball official friend, and he they're sitting there, we're having a chat before the game. I'm talking about his lineup, all those things, and Rusty Greer and Bobby Witt Sr. are right there and chatting about baseball with those guys. And Rusty Greer was always a favorite of mine when he played for the Texas Rangers. Just kind of that gritty, pine tar everywhere kind of dude. Loved that guy when he played for the Rangers. And I didn't really fan it out too much there. Just loved talking. It was fun to talk baseball with guys that have done it at the highest level. And for Bobby Witt Sr., obviously his son's doing it at a much higher level. Now he's I think at least in one-time All-Star. I don't know if he's made it to the All-Star team 2 years in a row or not, but Bobby Witt Jr. is one of the most talented shortstops I've ever seen in person, and that was when he was in high school. That's not counting now how good he is. So yeah, that's a little story for you there, and all the fun travels that you get to do, and then got to play-by-play the first round pick number 1, his high school games. Almost play-by-play his last high school game before he was drafted, but Monterey couldn't quite get it done.
It's close. I'm looking back to try to find Mason Greer in a lineup. He didn't play against Kansas over the weekend. This is way besides the point. This is classic Rob Bro show with Carson Robinson territory.
Yeah, we're just getting off the tracks here.
We are way off
the tracks
where we were.
Yeah.
Back to April 16th. Still not in the lineup yet. I'm just scrolling the Twitter to find what they're doing. Baylor's been on a heater. Maybe they went on a heater after Mason Greer was
benched.
I was just trying to find his
Didn't Houston take 2 out of 3 from Baylor? Or did Baylor take 2 out of 3 from Houston?
I don't know. It's been I'm back to BYU already. I think they won the BYU series. Maybe not. Didn't play against BYU either.
I was just going to go over the Big 12 baseball standings before we get done. If everything finished today, 10 teams get into the Big 12 tournament, right? So only 10 teams, the top 10 teams, 3 teams are left out of the Big 12 tournament. Those three teams, you could probably guess these 3 teams.
TCU.
Crazy, right?
Have they won enough yet?
No.
TCU. BYU.
Yeah.
And Houston.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
TCU, the team that was picked to win the league, is sitting in 11th place. Now, they're a series in front of UCF, who hasn't played TCU's 8-13, UCF is 8-10 in league play. But yeah, man, Kansas 9-9, Kansas State 9-9, Cincinnati 9-9, Baylor 9-9, Texas Tech 12-9, sitting in 5th. Texas 11-7, West Virginia 11-7, Oklahoma State 11-7, and Oklahoma 14-4. Telling you, man, if Texas Tech can win their next 3 series and maybe find a sweep in there,
Yeah.
and by sweep I mean like sweep Oklahoma, and then Oklahoma loses 2 out of 3 and 2 of their last couple series, like you could give yourself a shot. Like I said the other day,
mathematically, let's just say mathematically, if you sweep out, that is, what are you? 12. What's Texas Tech's record?
You'd be 21. You'd be 21-9 in Big 12 play.
And OU has a series. You've played the same amount as OU?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
No, OU's played 1 less series than you, so they have 4 conference series left because you don't play a conference series in the last week of the season.
So if they go 9-3, if they sweep everybody, and they'd win. You need them to you need them to go 500 and you to sweep everybody.
Yeah.
Tall task.
Here's the thing: you go sweep the rest of the weekends. Like I don't care what you do against UTRGV on Tuesday.
Well,
next week.
Yeah,
don't care.
That's the main thing. Mason
don't care that you lost 17-3 to New Mexico.
Last started April 2nd against Houston Christian. And all I was trying to tell was what position in the infield he played. He's a first baseman.
Yeah, first baseman, left-handed.
But it doesn't look like he's played since.
He's a bigger boy than his dad was too.
Yeah. All right, give me the order of quarterback ascension here into the NFL. You ready?
Yeah.
I want you to give me who gets drafted in what order. Not to where. I don't care who or where. I don't care what pick. But give me the top 6 quarterbacks off the board in order.
Oof.
We got Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams.
Jaden Daniels.
I think Drake May is a better pro prospect than Jaden Daniels, to be honest with you.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking where they're getting drafted. Not asking you to rank them.
It was Power Ranking Wednesday. I was just ranking them in my head.
Sure, you can.
Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy.
4th up 4. That's crazy.
Good Lord. Penix.
Before Nix.
And Bo Nix, yeah.
So Bo Nix, and all in the first round?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying.
Penix is not a first-round quarterback. J.J. McCarthy is not a first-round quarterback.
Bo Nix,
not a first-round quarterback. Great pick in the 2nd or 3rd round, though. Good pick if you like Penix. I don't think Penix is ever going to play in the NFL.
Ever?
Unless he's like Geno Smith and then is like plays for trash teams his whole career.
What's funny is this mock draft aggregator has J.J. McCarthy going to the Vikings at the 11th pick. And then the most popular pick for the Vikings at 23 is Michael Penix Jr.
So they're drafting 2 quarterbacks? Yeah, that's fun.
Well, whoever didn't pick, it's just the most popular pick at that point. So they'll get one of them.
I think Bo Nix has a better upside than those 2 guys. Call me crazy.
Crazy.
And Daniel said Carson's such a Daniels hater.
You are.
Stick with my take that he will be a top 2 quarterback from this class, if not the best. Yeah, I if you prove me wrong, cool, because I'm a Jaden Daniels fan. Like I like the guy. I liked it when he went to LSU. I thought it made LSU a lot better. Made him a lot more competitive at the quarterback position, that's for sure.
Jaden Daniels threw a touchdown to Brandon Ayuk to beat Oregon in 2019.
Yeah, at Arizona State.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I just don't see Jaden Daniels being successful in Washington. That's what I'm saying. Like Washington doesn't, they don't have an offensive line. Jaden Daniels is not, he's not an NFL calibered, like just thrower. He's not going to blow off the charts with arm talent or anything like that. I don't know. And he's not good. He's not as good as Lamar Jackson. And if you think that he's going to be Lamar Jackson, he's not. Yeah. I mean, look at Kyler Murray in the NFL. Has Kyler Murray been good in the NFL, Rob?
Yes. Rookie of the year.
Yes and no.
Rookie of the year, Pro Bowler. His team's not been good.
That's what I mean, though. Like, but Kyler Murray, he's been okay, but he hasn't been great like people wanted him to be.
What does he have to do with Jaden Daniels, though?
Jaden Daniels is like the same kind of quarterback as Kyler. He's not as fast or as flashy, but he uses his legs quite a bit more. He doesn't have the arm talent that Kyler Murray has. Kyler Murray's got a better arm.
5'6".
I know, but Kyler Murray's got a better arm. I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to be that great of an NFL quarterback. You can save this, and then whenever I'm wrong, prove me wrong. But I don't know. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels 6'4", by the way. No, he's not anything like Kyler Murray.
I'm not saying that height-wise he's like Kyler Murray. Athleticism, Rob.
I know, but
come on, man.
He's not RG3. He's a
really 6'4".
Well, 6'3", whatever he is.
6'2".
Big guy. Yeah, I think going to Washington is not great for your prospects. I would say if I just had a complete team and I wanted to draft one of these quarterbacks, it would probably be Caleb Williams. I don't love Caleb Williams' makeup.
His maturity level is what concerns me about him.
Yeah, not like his not wearing makeup and nail polish. I'm saying his
nail polish,
character makeup. But after that, it's probably Jaden Daniels. I'd probably rank him number 2. I think Drake May is a guy. Another thing about all these quarterbacks, Carson, with the COVID year, this is like the oldest quarterback class of all time. I mean, Penix was at Indiana for 7 years before he even got to
Nix was at Auburn for 4 years before he went to Oregon for the last 2.
So it's
yeah, and Jaden Daniels was at Arizona State and then went to LSU. So yeah. Caleb Williams was at Oklahoma and then went to USC. I don't know that there's a quarterback in this draft other than maybe Drake May. Did he transfer to North Carolina or was he there his whole career?
No, he was there his whole career.
And JJ McCarthy transferred to Michigan too, right? Or did he just start at Michigan? It's hard to remember who transfers and who doesn't anymore.
Bo Nix, Carson, will be the 3rd oldest quarterback taken in an NFL draft ever. Do you want to can you name the oldest? You know it.
The oldest?
You search your mind, you know it. Played minor league baseball and came back to a school in the Big 12.
Yep. And I can see his face.
You know it.
Oh, man. Big redhead.
Yeah.
Played for the Yankees system.
Yeah. Oklahoma State.
How can I not think of this dude's name?
Brandon Whedon.
Brandon Whedon, thank you. I can see his face. Can't remember his name.
28.9 in years old. I don't know why they have 0.9. Bo Nix,
28 years, 9 months.
24 and a half. Well, I think it's out of 10. I don't think they go 0.12.
Good point. Yeah.
Jim Druckenmiller was 25. I've never heard of him. Chad Pennington, Ryan Tannehill, Akili Smith, round out the top 6. Joey Harris.
How old was BJ when he got drafted?
Phil Simms, BJ Simmons?
Yeah.
Was he drafted?
Felt Yeah, he got drafted in the 7th round.
I don't know.
Felt like BJ was like 24, 25 when he graduated here.
Apparently not older than 23.8. This could be the first round. No, I don't know.
Oh, okay. No, that wouldn't be in the first round because Brandon Whedon was not drafted in the first round, was he? There's no way.
I don't know. He was pretty electric there at
No way Brandon Whedon was drafted in the first round.
No way? To the Browns?
In the
22nd
first
overall?
round?
22nd overall?
Holy crap.
Yeah.
No wonder the Browns suck.
He's there for 2 years. Then he came to the Dallas Cowboys for 2 years, the Texans for 2 years, the Titans.
No wonder the Browns have been so bad. They draft so poorly. Why did the Browns even try and draft? Like just sell all your picks off for actual players.
Just think of
because
the last
you cannot draft.
Think of the last 5 quarterbacks the Browns have taken. You had Baker, which was the best of the bunch, took him to the playoffs. Johnny Football. There was several in between. Deshaun Kaiser. Remember him? Remember Deshaun Kaiser? Now I want to look at
Notre Dame
quarterbacks. Browns.
Didn't Deshaun Kaiser finish at Notre Dame?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Did he not start there?
I don't know. He might have.
All right, this is just first round picks.
Deshaun Kaiser. Wow.
Baker Mayfield.
They also took, what was the kid's name from Nebraska?
Brandon Whedon.
Brandon Whedon in the first round. What a joke.
From Nebraska? What do you mean from Nebraska? Quarterback?
Oh, no, not Cade McNown wasn't from Nebraska. Never mind.
Oh, they drafted Cade McNown?
He ended up playing for him. I don't know if they did him.
Luke? You mean Luke McNown?
Luke McNown. There you go.
That's a different guy. You're looking at Browns quarterbacks now?
Tim Couch is the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, another bust for sure.
Wow.
All right. That's about all the time I have today.
Yeah, I'm tapped out.
NFL draft coming tomorrow. Kansas series coming up this weekend. We will allegedly come back on Friday. We'll see what's happening.
Let's go Stars. Got to get a win tonight, boys.
Go Stars.
Got to get a win. Peace.